This is Secret America.
Welcome, everybody. I'm Jack Danger along with Jay Gatling, and we have a lot of insane things to get to, Jay. The first thing that I want to talk about, did you know that the Trump administration, there were bombshell files that were just declassified by the Trump administration that found that the deep state had 14 informants on Biden's Ukrainian corruption scandal and secretly ran an effort to dismiss everything as disinformation. I mean, it is unbelievable. The spy agencies within the FBI formed a long list along political lines, and marked Democrats, including the Bidens, as targets of Russian disinformation, while the GOP officials and conservatives were designated conduits of disinformation. This is an unbelievable bombshell, Jay. It shows that the CIA, the FBI, and other intelligence agencies were helping Joe Biden make his Ukrainian quid pro quo scandal and his son's investigation go away. That's unbelievable. I mean,
and the opposite for Republicans. Go
absolutely.
After them.
They were actually targeting them. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. The Joe Biden's administration was the most corrupt administration in the history of this country.
Unbelievable. It's amazing that it can go past Obama, but it does. Obama at least, didn't do as much corruption. He steered the country in the wrong direction, obviously. Actually, he forced it there. But Biden was just outright corrupt in front of you, in front of your face. And none of the media called him on it, Jay. That's what we've always hoped for, that the media would be on our side and call people on it. Never did.
Never. The media has been in their pocket forever, to be honest. I see with Obama's administration, you had the Fast and Furious. You had stuff that was going on with Obama. Obama's corruption, and to me, really picked up during Trump's first presidency. That's when Obama turned everything kind of. He was running that shadow government against President Trump's first term.
Oh, absolutely.
And then he was running the Biden. He was running the Biden administration, and doing all that stuff that went on there. I mean, the amount of stuff we don't know could fill probably 10 football stadiums. The amount of stuff we don't know that we're never going to know that went on with the Biden administration, the Obama administration, the stuff Obama did during Trump's first presidency, the stuff he did during Biden's administration, the stuff he might be even doing now. Because again, the media is never going to cover this. The media doesn't investigate this stuff. Never. They only investigate Republicans. They never investigate Democrats.
The arm of this stuff. They are the publicist for the corruption. So they try to spin it. They try to make it look like it's not corruption. They are Obama's publicists, the mainstream media, including Fox News, any news that you watch. And that's why you come here to Secret America, because we're going to tell you the truth. We're going to tell you what's going on. And let me tell you, Jay, the Federal Bureau of Investigation ran a counterintelligence operation appearing to run cover for the Biden family, Ukraine business dealings, and other Democrats, like we said, labeling them victims of Russian disinformation. Democrat figures like Barack Obama, Hillary Clinton, Joe Biden, George Soros, John Kerry, and Paul Pelosi were all labeled as targets. But then Republicans like then Attorney General Bill Barr, then Secretary of State Mike Pompeo, who are two terrible people anyway, and then Lindsey Graham, Senator Ron Johnson, Chuck Grassley, Jim Jordan, and then even Devin Nunes and Pete Sessions, and even the White House Chief of Staff, Mick Mulvaney. They were all people that were supposedly the ones that were conduits of the Russian disinformation. According to the documents released by the White House Transparency Task Force on Wednesday, the FBI's Foreign Influence Task Force, Russia, unofficially formed a group of analysts who utilized internal systems to gather any and all derogatory information previously reported by confidential human sources on Joseph Biden, corruption, and other Ukraine-related topics. The Ukraine narrative as well. Burisma, Hunter Biden, Mikola, who's the founder of Burisma, Ukraine interference in 2016 presidential election, to red flag the reporting as Russian disinformation. The operation was known as Round River. It started in December 2019 and went up to and through the 2020 U.S. presidential election. Even an administration official said it may have gone all the way to 2021, and the DNI Tulsi Gabbard was able to declassify assessments of this and it did show that there were roughly 70 people, Jay, 70, that were all figures in the Ukraine-related impeachment of President Donald Trump, as well as the Biden-involved Ukraine scandal implicating him and his son Hunter in the big corruption scheme with Burisma Oil, and then him with the quid pro quo of getting rid of the prosecutor. Jay, this thing is bigger than people can possibly imagine. We're talking about a sitting U.S. president removing officials from another country so his son does not get prosecuted.
I mean, I'm glad you got to that at the end, because I was going to bring up, Joe Biden is on camera admitting to a quid pro quo.
He laughed about it. He was happy about it.
And nothing happens.
Nothing.
No one says anything. The media treats it like it was a joke. Oh, how funny. If President Trump said that, you didn't have to be President Trump. If a Republican said that,
yeah, exactly.
Anybody who wasn't a Democrat, it would be investigated. Well, wait a minute. We got to get to the bottom of that. Who did he talk to? Who knows about this? Who did he send an email to? How long has this been in the works for? Remember Hunter Biden's laptop? Oh, it's Russian disinformation. We have 51 former intelligence officers tell us that Hunter Biden's laptop, that's all fake. It's all Russian disinformation. Has anybody gone to jail for that yet?
Nothing. Nobody's gone to jail for that. Nobody's gone to jail for the Anthony Weiner laptop. Nobody goes to jail anymore.
That's the frustrating part, because I'm telling you now, you can't, that lie about that Hunter Biden laptop, them burying that during 2020. Okay. What was the guy also interviewed? That Bobolinsky, that guy, was it Tony Bobolinsky? He was the
Something
one
like that. Yeah.
He knew all about Hunter Biden, everything that he was involved with Burisma, all the shady stuff. And the media wouldn't talk to this guy. They wouldn't touch this guy with a 10-foot pole. And then Jay, they tell us that his laptop's fake. Anybody with a half a brain knew that laptop was real, and it was left by a crackhead at a repair shop.
All right, check this out. Okay, so I wanted to show people the video. Okay, I want to show people the video that we're talking about with Biden. So take a look at this, and we'll talk about it in a minute.
Press conference said, no, I said, I'm not going to, or we're not going to give you the $1 billion. They said, you have no authority. You're not the president. The president said, I said, call him. I said, I'm telling you, you're not getting $1 billion. I said, you're not getting $1 billion. I'm going to be leaving here. And I think it was, 6 hours? I said, I'm leaving in 6 hours. If the prosecutor's not fired, you're not getting the money.
If the prosecutor is not fired, you're not getting the money. That is the definition of a quid pro quo. That is the definition of interference in another country. And, that's international. That's an international incident right there. But the media treated it as though he's just protecting his son. There's nothing really going on. That's their logic there, the media.
Yeah, he basically, like I said, interfering with another country's affairs to protect his son. Does it get any worse than that? Is there more of an abuse of power?
No, and I can understand people might say, I would do the same for my son, but this is different because this man is a known corruption. He's known for corruption, and this is the most corrupt thing you can do, whether it's his son or not. No. He is just, it doesn't feel right. It doesn't look right. And then when you boast about it, when you brag about it, that makes it even worse. It's on video. He could be arrested right now. It is on video, but they won't do it.
And yeah, it's very frustrating. It's right in front of your face. You have him interfering with another country's affairs, literally telling them how to run their country to protect his son, who's getting paid hundreds of thousands of dollars a month in a company that he has no experience with what the company
he's never had any oil experience or anything.
Nothing. And protect his son. Well, wait a minute. I hear Democrats, all they ever tell me is nobody's above the law.
Well, let me show you. Actually, you know what? Since I want to switch topics for just a second. Jay, have you seen what's going on? I want to talk about Islam in just a second, because Islam is taking over like you would not believe. People hear about it. They see articles, they see this or that. I'm going to show you a visual that will show you how much Islam is actually taking over, not just America, but the entire world. First, though, I just want to mention our sponsor, maxassociates.etsy.com, the #1 place for USA Pride gifts and patriotic apparel. You can scan the QR code at the top right or go to maxassociates.etsy.com. They have the absolute best in USA pride gifts and patriotic apparel. I mean, you can't beat it. You have, if you're watching this show, watching Secret America right now, you get 20% off your order with the code SECRET20. That's SECRET20. Put that in at checkout. You get 20% off your order and free shipping anywhere in the United States. Do not miss out on that. Also, by design, the first Black president lets you experience the rise of America's first Black president as the events unfold. From the moment the CIA gave their project a name, all the way to the swearing in at the White House, through the lens of a political thriller where there's far more happening behind the scenes than anyone ever realized. It's fast-paced, suspenseful, and filled with twists that blur the line between official narratives and conspiracy theories. Get it on Amazon or go to our website, secretamericalive.com, to get the audiobook or to grab you a signed copy with a personal message. All right, Jay. I got to show you what I'm talking about when it comes to Islam. Okay. It is unbelievable. So this is a graphic that I'm showing you, and it is from England. All right. I'm going to tell you right now, in 1950, Jay, I'm going to compare. In 1950, there were 5 mosques in England in 1950. Okay. This is England today. All right. That's England on the left in 1950. This is England in 2026. That is Islam. Those are mosques.
That's a takeover.
Massively, without firing a shot.
That's a takeover. How many churches are left? That's decreased, I'm sure.
Yeah, Jay, there were 5 in 1950. There's 1,750 now in England. What is that? It's like a 10,000, 100,000% increase. I don't even know.
It covers the entire country.
Yeah.
There's no.
And notice that,
no
Jay.
land.
You're right. The entire. It's not clustered in one area. The whole country.
Yeah, that's a takeover. That's what that is.
Absolutely.
And when Islam takes over, and when they finally take over to the point where they're satisfied, all of the communists that help them are going to be killed.
Absolutely. See, that's the thing people don't understand. Islam is a peaceful religion when they are the minority. When they are the majority, that's when you see their real intentions come out. That's when you will see the power of Islam, the violence of Islam, the hate, the anger, the oppression. You will see it all if you allow them to be the majority. And England is allowing it, Jay. And England, boy, it's going to be bad. Once they feel they have enough people to take over, and I don't mean through elections, I mean physically take over, that's what's going to happen.
Yeah. And look what's happening in this country. And they'll say the right things. They'll frame their positions in something that doesn't sound as bad as it really is. They're never going to tell you the whole truth about their positions. They always frame it a certain way. They talk about it a certain way, where certain people, even if they don't vote for it, they won't be so scared of it to say, no, it's not even vote for it. It needs to get the hell out of here. Look what's going on in Michigan with Al Said. Look what's going on there. That guy has no business.
Going on in Dallas right now?
Well, but the guy Al Said, for example, 1 second on Dallas, he has no business holding political office in this country. Neither does Ilhan Omar. Neither does how many others. Neither does Zoran Mamdani. And it's happening here. So everybody, oh my God, look at England. Look at Texas.
They're allowing it. We're all allowing it. But let me show you what's there. I'm going to show you an even bigger sign that they are taking over. Okay. In Dallas Airport, they have a project now that consists of adding ablution stations. You know what ablution stations are? They are wudu foot washing stations for Islamic prayer. That way they can wash their feet and their hands before prayer. Okay, they are adding these stations to existing concourse level restrooms in Terminal D, 1 men's ablution station in existing men's restroom, 1 women's ablution station in existing women's restrooms, and it concludes reconfiguration of a concourse. Jay, they are now adding religious, I don't want to say artifacts, but religious tools to help them in their religion inside an airport bathroom in Dallas. This is real. This is real. They don't put crosses up for Christians to go pray, but they put out an ablution station so you can wash your hands and feet before you go pray on the ground.
Yeah, it's insane. And guess what? People say, oh, well, there is a chapel. Take it all out. I don't want any of it at that point then. Nope. It's all got to go. If this is where we're headed and they get that because, oh, there's a chapel, then you know what? Take the chapel out. If that's what we have to do. I'm saying it. I'm Christian.
Is there a chapel in Dallas?
I don't know. I don't
think there is.
Maybe there is. But my point is, if that's their in, then the chapel, that's got to go. Then listen, you don't need a chapel to pray to God. You don't need it. Okay.
Yeah. No. And Muslims pray anywhere.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't understand going out of our way, calls to prayer, all this crap. No, we don't do that here. We don't. If you want that, you do that in your mosque, which is whatever. But you don't get to disrupt everybody else's life because of your religion.
Well, the craziest part is they've actually, and people don't realize this, they have actually taken over an entire city. Dearborn, Michigan, in America, has been taken over. They have 5 calls to prayer around the entire city starting at 5 a.m. 5 calls to prayer throughout the day. The entire city council is Islamic Muslim. Okay, every single one of them. They have taken over an entire American city. And that right there, that is their blueprint for how they are going to take over America, Jay.
Absolutely. You're right. And U.S. citizens in the comments, he's saying that at the Dallas-Fort Worth, it's a room for all, but usually not used by Christians. But at the same time, why are we building these ablution, whatever this is, to wash your feet? Why are we building this?
It's ridiculous.
Well,
it's ridiculous.
You know what? Then I want something with holy water. I want that built.
No, we just need to cancel it all. There shouldn't be. Then. It's an airport. It's an airport.
That's what I'm saying. And listen, where I used to work at Terminal 4, there is a place in that terminal too, because it's basically the biggest international terminal at JFK.
But for what purpose? It's an airport. Your job is just to get in and out. That's it.
I don't know. I agree with you. I agree with you. It's like I said, if you want to pray to God, you can do that without being physically in a chapel. Yeah. You could do that.
You don't need it. You don't need a big wooden cross, and you don't need a hand and foot washing station. It's ridiculous. All right, Jay.
It's completely ridiculous.
It is. Let's move on because I want to show you something that I absolutely love. Okay, the Democrats are fighting back against the socialists. Did you see how it happened? It happened with Francesca Hong, or however the hell you say her name. And what happened was there was a ballot dump around 2 a.m. for Francesca Hong, and you can see it on. I've got videos I want to show you. There was a ballot dump for her that went in her favor, and she suddenly jumped up into a high percentage over her opponent. But then 5 USBs suddenly went missing. The files on there were not the correct files. So what do? They wait until all the votes are in, Jay, so they know how much they need. Then they take them, go back to Central, and then put the files on there, then bring them back to be counted. I gotta say, Jay, you and I hate the stealing of elections, but I gotta say, I like the fact that they fought back against the socialists who were trying to steal the election. Let me show you the video real quick. I want to show you the reactions. Okay, the reactions are what matter. The reaction on NBC News of this man, Kornacki Cam, is priceless. This right here is when he actually sees the ballot dump for Francesca. Then I'm going to show you when he sees that the USBs are missing. Watch his reaction. It is priceless.
Okay. Wow. What the heck just came in brown? Which was that? That was huge for her.
Look at the percentages of now. She jumped up to 40.7 to 35.9 from that one ballot dump at like 2 a.m. Let's take a listen.
Yeah, so that was about 18,000 votes, and she nets 2,000.
He's speechless.
Question. Was that that wasn't Central Count, was it?
That guy is absolutely speechless. Now, let me show you the one where he found out that the USBs are missing. This is when he realized that the cheating was going on. Okay. And that's the best part about this one, because this is when he actually realized, because when the ballot dump happened, he didn't think about it. But once this happened, he's like, whoa.
I guess the exact thing, yes, is if 5 of the USB sticks were missing results from the election, so then they have to go try to re-grab them.
Look at his face. He's speechless.
Yeah, and they're all the folks behind the scenes are talking about this as well. So we can also
got nothing to say.
Look, it's unfortunate.
The folks behind the scenes here, you're saying?
Yes,
It's unfortunate.
He said it's unfortunate.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
Are how do I ask this artfully?
He's got nothing to say. He's so stunned right now. He was so stunned, Jay. He had nothing to say. He couldn't. He had nothing to say.
I'm so sick and tired of this. I am so sick and tired of this every time. 5 things go missing, 5 whatever USB sticks. How? Are we just going to forget about that too, Jack? Is nobody going to try and figure out what happened here?
We know that they're going to cheat until election integrity is put in. But I got to say, for once, I like to see it going against the socialists. I like to see them actually fight back, because if the socialists take over, Jay, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. And right now, in this particular election, Crowley is our friend.
Well, not anymore, because now we want Tom Tiffany to win. So, and it's going to be harder. It's going to be harder for him to beat Crowley than it would have been for him to beat Francesca Hong.
Yeah, but that's fine. I don't even want her having a chance, though. I don't want her having a chance. So
I get it. I get it. Let me put this, Jack, with this election. So this election now, they've called it obviously for Crowley. There's about 700 votes remaining outstanding.
I think they're probably going to end up doing a recount.
But I don't know. They might, because she's lost by, I don't know what the rules are in Wisconsin, what actually triggers an automatic recount, because she's only going to lose by 0.5%.
I know.
So it's 39.8.
Go ahead.
I don't know what the rules are there. So 39.8 to 39.3. She's going to lose in an election in a Democrat primary. There are over 700,000, around 700,000 votes cast. She's going to lose by less than 4,000 votes. Now, the point is, John Thune, you think you need to pass the Save America Act? Because that's very close. And 4,000 votes in an election that large, you're telling me you can't find 4,000 votes that were fraudulent out of 700,000? Because somebody is a citizen.
That was the whole point of the sticks. The sticks were done after the ballot dump.
That's what I'm saying, though. Yeah. Who's on those? But who's on those sticks? Are they citizens? Are they dead? Are there dogs voting? Because we know that's happened before. So
who knows?
The message from the Republicans: make the vote personal, because it is personal. So I hear Democrats all the time talking about the right to vote. The right to vote. The right to vote doesn't mean anything if my vote can possibly be canceled out by a fraudulent vote. What is my right to vote worth if I cast a vote not knowing that whether it's going to actually matter because there's fraud going on? So the bottom line is, one fraudulent vote in any election is one fraudulent vote too many. Make it personal. And I don't get why Republicans can't message this to people to say, maybe if they're not even Republicans, they could say, you're right. Anybody that I want.
You're frozen, Jay. Okay, so Jay's frozen for the moment. So I'm gonna look at it from a different point of view, rather than talking about election integrity all the time, because it's not gonna change. They're not gonna. We talk about it all the time. I want to say
I froze, didn't I?
Yeah. You were frozen for about 30 seconds. But the thing is, I understand we want our votes to count, but we talk about it all the time. It's not going to change anything. So what I want to look at, though, is the point from where Democrats actually fought back against the socialists. They used the moves that they usually use against us, and at least they used it for something that I can agree with. Maybe I don't like the way they did it. I don't like that it's a possibility. That's what I don't like, the fact that it's a possibility. But the fact that they did it against her, that's great. I wish they would have done it against Syed. And now I believe, Jay, they might start fighting back. This might be the moment that they start fighting back now.
So they're going to fight back by cheating. I guess.
I honestly don't care. Yeah.
But they're going to use it against us in a general election. But the thing is,
we already know that, Jay.
They didn't want we know they didn't want Francesca Hong. That's why Bernie Sanders stayed away from her. That's why even AOC stayed away from her. But and here's another thing. Here's what else we learned last night. Mike Lindell in Minnesota. Mike Lindell. What did you said amnesty, Mike Lindell?
Big mistake.
And that's what happens to you. If you're a Republican, the only time you should ever say the word amnesty is if the word no comes before the word amnesty. Otherwise, never say the word. And if you're anybody, regardless if you're a Republican, a Democrat, or independent, whatever you are, and you want to win an election, don't say you want to cancel Thanksgiving. That's the lessons we learned last night.
Absolutely, man. That's insane. I mean, she said you want to cancel Thanksgiving, so I'm glad she lost. He said amnesty, which is the trigger word for Republicans. You never say amnesty unless you have the word no in front of it.
That's
you know what I mean? Otherwise, you're just going to get yourself in trouble. And as you can see, he lost like 30 points from that one word. 30 points.
Got killed. And
it's his
Jack,
own fault.
After he said it the first time, I was like, all right, maybe he didn't mean it that way. Or
because it was in an article, you know? So I was wondering.
But my point is, he didn't walk it back. He like tripled down on it.
Yeah, he tried to explain and say, "Oh no, I didn't mean amnesty," but that's exactly what it means. Work visas for people that haven't committed crimes. That's amnesty.
It's amnesty, and it's like, bro, that is the third rail of for Republican. Instantly,
absolutely,
instantly fried. Career over.
All right, Jay. I want to every once in a while now, I'm going to pull up something just to try to remind people of what's happened in the past to us, to America, and to the world. So I've got something here that I want to show everybody. Okay. And this is going to be Remember When. Every once in a while, we're going to do a little segment called Remember When, where we actually show you a video from the past that you may have forgotten about, things that everybody may have forgotten about. And I'm going to show it to everybody right now. I want you guys to check this out. So, Jay, everybody remembers what happened during COVID, right? Mm-hmm. But what I don't think people remember is how insane the propaganda got. The propaganda, I'm not talking about the death counts. I'm not talking about the cheeseburgers for vaccines. I am talking about the most insane propaganda that I have ever witnessed. And I want you guys to remember this now.
The vaccine.
By the way, this is propaganda to the max. It can't get any more than this. Vaccine. Vaccine.
God.
Oh my God, Jay, not only was that propaganda, but that vaccine killed many, many people and it maimed others. These people were given their marching orders, but they didn't just say, you know, take the vaccine, it'll help you. They actually went out there and they had people dressed as needles, okay? Dressed as actual hypodermic needles. They had cartoon needles on the screen. It said the vaccine. And then they actually danced. They danced just like all the nurses. If you guys remember that, all the nurses that were dancing in, by the way, empty hospitals. For everybody that doesn't know, most of those hospitals were actually empty. That's why the nurses had time to dance.
How do you have time to dance if you have people in a hospital?
Well, I have lots of firsthand accounts where people actually went there and hospitals were empty, not filled to the max like people said. They were empty.
That's the point. If you're overloaded with patients, how do you guys have time to choreograph a dance?
The propaganda,
do it.
It was the biggest propaganda operation I have ever seen in my life. I mean, the vaccine, they knew that it had a 99.7% or higher survival rate. They knew that the flu killed more people than this, but yet they pulled out all the stops to be able to push the vaccine down your throat. And that right there you gotta be asking yourself why. Why would they push this so hard, knowing that it kills less people than the flu, but they're pushing the vaccine like it's something you must take. They make it mandatory for a lot of people, and it's just insane because that's why. I personally think that the vaccine, because nobody knows what the vaccine had in it. There's not a single person that actually knows what's in the vaccine. So I think that the vaccine took some of Robert Malone's technology, the Myrna technology, which was great technology. They just misused it. They took that and then they put in some stuff that could possibly hurt you later. Maybe it could even be activated at a later date. You ever heard of the 5G waves, the 5G lights that are put in all the light poles all across America?
Yeah, we talked about that on a show once.
It's It's very possible. See, the thing is, this type of technology is possible. You could have those things going through your veins right now. Maybe that's where the white fibrous blood clots come from. Did you ever see those monstrous white thick fibrous blood clots they pulled out of people's veins that killed them?
Squid. Looks like squid.
Exactly. That's where this could have come from. And the things that are running through your veins right now, if you got the Myrna vaccine, the things that are coursing through your veins could be activated based on a microwave. And I'm not talking about the thing that heats up your pizza. I'm talking about a wave, that can act like a 5G wave that can come from a pulse and a signal that they turn on.
And if that's possible. But if that's too far for people to say, oh, that's not going to happen. Well, here's what might happen, which is way more, I mean, feasible for anybody who's not saying, oh, I don't believe in that. How about this? What's this going to do to the kids that were forced to get that vaccine 15, 20 years from now when they want to have children? What's going to happen? Do we even know? Because we know it caused miscarriages. We know it caused miscarriages, and Fauci lied about that. We know because of his diary, lied about all that stuff. And all that dancing that Colbert was doing there, was all in tribute to Dr. Fauci, the science guy who took the, Fifth Amendment 111 times a couple of weeks ago. So this whole thing is falling apart. And, usually the truth comes out, and now it is coming out. But at this point, for people that were forced to take these vaccines, I feel very bad for you. And don't let anybody tell you weren't forced, because if they threaten your job, if they threaten your career, what you used to put food on the table, what you earned, and what you strove to do with your life, they threaten to take that from you, or else you get this shot. You're being forced. So you were forced to take something that nobody knows what the hell was in it, what the long-term effects of it are, what the short-term effects of it are, nothing. And then you have this idiot dancing on TV. Yes, that right there is state-run propaganda.
Absolutely. It's no different than Russian or Nazi propaganda. They all ran Stalin. They all ran the radio stations and the TV stations, and this is the type of shit they put on. But for people that think it's not possible, that they couldn't have put, some stuff, I think it's like some type of metal or some type of conduit that they put inside the vaccine, and that can be triggered based on 5G waves. If you think it's not possible, do some research on it, because I'm going to tell you right now, there is no reason that they would want you to get the vaccine, because we've seen that it might even sterilize people based on what's in it. But there's no reason that they would want people to mass get a vaccine unless it will do something to them later on in the future. Otherwise, there would be no reason for it, especially when money is not the reason. Pharmaceutical companies, everything, they are trillionaires. They're rich as they could possibly be. Money is not the reason. The reason is because they know that what they can do is take the Myrna technology, which is where you have you put it in through the liposomes, and it goes into your cells. It actually goes into the cell. And if they can put things into the cell that's activated by waves, have you ever seen let me think. Have you ever seen the things that, how about this, with some kind of virtual reality thing, right? That's disconnected. That's not connected to anything. It's wireless. It's completely wireless. The thing that is inside that virtual reality, that is something that could be inside your body in small pieces, okay? And then the wireless connectivity of 5G waves or 6G or whatever it is could eventually cause you to, have you ever seen, okay, Jay, let's say there's a civil war. Let's say they want to control the population in the future, right? What's a great way to do it? You force people to put something in their body that they have no idea what it is, and then if they come after you, you flip the switch. I would say that's the easiest way to do it.
Oh, yeah. Listen, if they can do it, they would love to be able to do that. I don't know. Time will tell. Time will tell. Hopefully we never find out, but there is definitely something. You guys can believe what you want to believe. There's definitely something more to this vaccine. Absolutely. As hard as they pushed it, as what we just watched. And that was just one of them. It was over and over. The guilting, the shaming, telling you that you're killing your grandmother, telling you that you're the reason why we're still locked down. You're the reason why your kid still isn't at school.
Telling you to die.
You're going to die.
You're not coming to the hospital. We're not going to treat you if you're unvaccinated.
Can't come to the hospital. You shouldn't be treated. You're going to face a winter of severe illness and death. That came right out of the mouth of the president.
Your mother snitching on you.
snitch lines, people, National Guard walking down the street with curfews, shooting paintballs at people.
That was
Minnesota.
Unbelievable, Jay. You saw the National Guard walking down the street, and there's videos of them saying, get in your effing house.
Right.
I mean, that's shit you see like in World War II movies. What the hell is going on?
Well, that's what I'm talking about. So
and we took it.
Like there's some, and people took it, and that's what I feel like. There's something more to this that we haven't found out yet. I personally believe that it's going to be that a lot of these kids that they gave this shot to, who didn't need the shot because no kids were dying of COVID, literally zero. 99.99999 did not die of COVID under a certain age, and they were making these kids get it. I think these kids are just not going to be able to have children. That's what I think.
And that's probably, I think that's going to be a side effect of this. But I personally think the best way to control a population, if they start to get out of control, is to actually be able to remote control them. And I don't mean when they flip the switch, you're going to start doing what they want. I mean, when you flip the switch, it could kill you. It could cause whatever problem. And that's the best way to control a population. It's if you have the technology, Jay, the technology that we don't even know they have. Like the wireless technology, the microwaves type technology, the technology that they supposedly reverse engineer from aliens. If they have this type of technology, there's technology we don't know about. That's 100% sure. So if they have something like this, the easiest way to control a population is to do it. Now you can remote control them. You flip the switch, whoever took the vaccine, maybe their heart, stops. Who knows? Because I can tell you right now that there is a lot more to this, because it's not just, sterilization is probably going to be a side effect, but there is so much to this that we don't know. And once they started putting in the 5G things every road now, every major road and everything has the 5G lights now with 5G wireless capability, which for one thing doesn't make any sense. Why would you need wireless capability on a light? But there you go. It surrounds the entire country. At the same time, the vax is coming out, and at the same time, they're forcing it down your throat.
Well, that would be wild. And
would be, yeah.
Yeah, it would be wild. We'll see.
And I'm not saying that's what happened. I'm just saying it's plausible. Because if I have the technology and I want to control the country, control the people, I would love to have something where if I can put something in their body where I could flip a switch and they just drop dead. So I don't have to worry about them fighting back against me.
Yeah. In theory, it makes sense. And like we said, there's something wrong with that whole period of time. Way off.
Absolutely.
Way off. Way off when you look back at it now. Because kind of sometimes when you're in it, you see crazy stuff. But then when you look back, and you'd be like, wow, it was a lot worse than I even realized while it was going on.
All right, Jay, I have something that I think is going to shock everybody, okay? It's shocking, but it's not surprising, okay? Those are two different things. One is shocking, you're like, whoa, but the surprising, it's two different things. I want to show you this, Jay. I'm going to tell you about it. Okay, so Cook County, which we all know is Chicago and Illinois, right? Cook County's state attorney admitted that murder suspects on electronic monitoring, the ankle monitors, get two unmonitored free to roam days per week. In a recent interview, the Cook County State's attorney, Eileen O'Neill Burke, confirmed that Illinois law requires a minimum of 2 free to roam days each week for anybody on electronic monitoring. During those days, they are not tracked. She said 87 defendants charged with murder or attempted murder are currently on electronic monitoring, and that everybody gets 2 days. Another 181 charged with sexual assault. Roughly 10 to 12% of the more than 3,200 people are monitoring right now. And guess what? There's over 300 of them that are already AWOL. They left on one of those free to roam days, never seen again.
No, I'm shocked. I can't believe that they would leave.
How can you have free to roam? Jay, that's state law, too. That's not even something that she's doing.
What is the reason for this? Because we feel sorry for them?
Yeah. Feel sorry for a murder suspect. Why would you monitor them and then turn the monitor off? What is the point?
Again, this is suicidal empathy crap.
It's sick.
It's insane. It's insanity.
It is.
You're a dangerous person to the point, or untrustworthy to the point where we have to ankle monitor. We have to put a monitor on your ankle But no, we'll trust you on those couple of days because you know what? We're doing you a favor. So we think you're going to do the right thing for us, and
this
you're
is
not going to
state law. The whole state's law. I don't get it.
When this is Illinois, so when did that genius Elliot was Pritzker the one that signed this into law?
I'm going to look into it right now and see when this law was put into place because this is insane. I mean, who would ever even think of this law, and why would you do it?
I'm telling you, it's come to the point. I say it. If you're voting for Democrats, I just got to. I have to understand. I need to understand why.
It's even worse for socialist Democrats.
But if you're somebody that cares about self-preservation, even, what are you voting? Every time you're voting for a Democrat, I'm not saying Republicans are like, oh, great. No, Republicans may not solve any of your problems, but Democrats are causing all of them. I know that.
Absolutely.
I'd rather have a Republican that does nothing than a Democrat that does anything at this point because everything they do is freaking crazy.
You were right. So I'm going to read this to you. It is part of Illinois' Safety Act. Public Act 101 signed into law in early 2021 by Governor J.B. Pritzker. The relevant statute mandates that individuals on pretrial home confinement with or without electronic monitoring must be given movement time to spread over no fewer than 2 days per week for basic activities such as shopping, laundry, medical appointments, work, school, or treatment. Jay, it doesn't make any sense, but I will say it was at the height of suicidal empathy, right after the George Floyd bullshit, right after that, early 2021. It was at the height of suicidal empathy. That's what you get. That's what you get.
Oh, I love. We talk about all the names all the time. The names that they come up with for these ridiculous bills. That the names have literally nothing. They're actually the opposite of what the bill actually is. In this case, it's called the safety. Yeah,
they just try to make acronyms. They just want.
How do you feel, Jack? Does that make you feel safe? Does that make you feel
safe? Hell
safe?
no, dude. What if you got a person that's a triple murderer, okay? And he's on an ankle monitor. He knows that he's going to be found guilty and go to prison for the rest of his life. So on his free roam days, he just takes off, goes and murders people in other states. That's not safe at all.
It's like catch and release at the border. The same thing. That's another thing. That's Democrats. Oh, no, you're here illegally? Here you go. Here's a notice. Oh, make sure you get your free phone and everything else we got to give you for free. But then you're free to go. And we'll trust you to come back for your court hearing in a couple of years. I'm telling you, I'll say it again. If you're voting for Democrats, and I'm not saying you got to vote for Republicans, that's fine. That's fine. But if you're voting for Democrats, you need to explain to me rationally why.
Especially if you're voting for Democrats, socialists. That's even worse.
Oh, it's even worse. I mean, they're just completely off the chain.
Yeah,
and
gone.
By the way, real quick, Jack, since we're talking about it, this just came down about Al Said. His campaign just confirmed that he still follows Sharia law in his personal life.
Yeah, I heard that's insane. That's insane. And he wants to implement. He's going to implement it wherever he is.
Of course he does. Of course he does. His campaign, they're putting out Blues Clues videos where he's in Blues Clues. Did you see that one?
Unbelievable.
I mean, he's doing that. He's singing Taylor Swift. First of all, you revoke your man card if you're doing Taylor Swift, and whatever other video he did was completely. I mean, I'm sorry, but Jay,
gay. A person like this has no business being in office.
It's no business being in the United States. I'm just.
What happened to the 1776 style? What happened to that? What happened to that air of what happened to that aura, Jay? What happened to having values and principles? And we just don't have that anymore. Every new generation has less and less respect for American traditions, American people, and just American culture. But it's all of it is because of the media's propaganda. Every single bit of it.
Listen, you said 1776. At this point, I'll take 1996. Bring me back to 1996.
Dude, I'll take the George Bush days, man.
I mean, really. Let's get back to there, and we'll start there and make sure it doesn't get any worse from there.
Remember the days after 9/11? That was the days. I'm not saying 9/11 was great, but the days afterward, when America came together and everybody was pro-America, that is how we need to be.
You will never get that again, no matter what happens, because then I've said this in the past before. I've never said this to you. If 9/11 happened today, instantaneously, 40 to 50% of the country would be blaming the United States or another country, we know who it is, and would say we deserved it. We had it even back then. But it would be instant online. Oh, well, we deserve this.
Dude, it would be before it happened, right before. Instant. And then it would be right before it happened. Then we have to investigate these people. How do they know it was going to happen? They're celebrating before it even happens.
Exactly. And also, yes, after 9/11, no matter what your political bent was, Republican, Democrat, whatever. Yes, the country came together and said, "No,
this great.
We got to do something about this."
That was America, Jay. That's the America we need. But Obama divided that America, Jay. We were that America until 2008. He purposefully divided that America. And you can see that in the book by design. And Jay, I want to thank Hickser. He said his wife, Clipper Chick, ordered the book on audio today, and she's already on chapter 6. I hope she's enjoying the book. You can get it on audiobook. But Jay,
I'm on chapter 6 too.
Are you really?
Yeah.
That's awesome. I hope you guys are enjoying it. I know that much. I'm happy to say that, there's 21 reviews on Amazon so far, and they are all 5 stars. But the next book, like I said, it's going to be done in less than a month, and it is already really, really good. I'm on chapter 6 myself of writing the book.
Writing a new book. Yeah,
absolutely. All right.
A little different. Good. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Okay. Go ahead. You got something?
No. That was it. I mean, this Al Saeed thing. I mean, it comes back from his 2009 comments. He said it's a lifelong obligation. Bro. Guys, what they're telling you, and people still.
That's the thing. You got to believe them when they tell you who they are.
Yes.
So, Jay, you remember the Supreme Court justice, the head of the Supreme Court in Brazil? Remember when he was fighting with Elon about X, and then he banned X?
Yeah.
Vaguely. Well, now get this. He just ordered Discord to suspend live streaming within 3 business days. This man is out of control. He's saying,
right? Oh no, Lula's the president. Who's the Supreme Court justice?
No, it's the Supreme Court justice is the guy who has all the power. I'm going to find out real quick. I can't remember his name, but he looks like Voldemort. He's got the bald head and the eyebrows. He is a crazy guy, but somehow, Jay, since he's the head of the Supreme Court, he has all the power. The president has no power, none. He banned X unilaterally. All right. He banned it unilaterally. It's unbelievable. And for some reason, even though I put it in there, it tells me the head of the president, but that's not what I wanted. I wanted the Supreme Court, the Brazilian Chief Justice's name. That's what I want. But that's why AI is still. Apparently, okay. So they want it to stop live streaming within 3 business days over child safety. And it's all, Jay, all of it because one 13-year-old girl died by suicide. One 13-year-old girl, and they want to ban the entire thing. They don't say what was the girl's problem, what was going on with her, why was she depressed. They say, oh, it must have been the app. Let's ban live streaming.
Talk about looking for an excuse.
His name is, I think it's Edson Fashion. I think that's his name. I'm going to look it up real quick.
Edson Fascist.
Yeah, that's good, isn't it? That is really good, actually. I want to look it up. I want you to see his picture, Jay. I want you to see his picture.
There's something out of Lord of the Rings.
Oh my God, dude, he looks like the actual. So, like I said, he has unilateral power for some reason. Even though he's part of a Supreme Court and there's a president, he has unilateral power to do whatever he wants. Because, like I said, he banned X. Okay, here it goes. I want you to see this guy. Let me find the best picture of him. He is the epitome of a villain, Jay. I mean, the absolute. Think of a villain right now. Think of a villain. This will be that guy. All right, here, I'm going to pull it up. I want you to see this. Take a look. Let me pull this up. Take a look at this right here. He is the epitome of a villain. Come on, add to stay. Look at that. That's him.
Oh yeah.
That is the guy that has all the power in Brazil, the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court.
That guy's evil.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look at those eyes.
It's unbelievable. Jay, he looks like a villain in a movie, but he actually plays a villain in real life. How does the Supreme Court justice, even if he's the chief, have unilateral power to do whatever he wants? Dude, he tells the president what to do.
I don't know. I guess that's how they roll in Brazil. No, thank you. No. And Discord, like you said, you can't prove that Discord was the reason. It's unfortunate that this girl took her own life, but how do you just right? That's it. Okay.
I mean, look at
right
this.
away. There he is. There he is.
Even the Los Angeles Times knows how dirty he is. Crusading judge tests the boundaries of free speech in Brazil because he banned X completely. Now he's trying to ban Discord from live streaming. This dude is a villain if I've ever seen one. And why, Jay? If you ban all that stuff, what's left to get your news? Where do you get your news from if all the apps outside the world are banned? If you're in a bubble in Brazil.
Welcome to China. Welcome to Russia. Welcome to Iran. There you go. That's what
State
you got.
media. That's exactly what you get. That's exactly what he wants. And for some reason, Jay, the military and the police all listen to this guy. He doesn't have the power to do these things, but they all listen. They take orders from him. I don't get it.
Why?
I don't get it.
What's going on down there? What's going on?
Somebody needs to know. Somebody needs to find out.
Yeah. Like, what's the deal with this dude? Who does he know?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, dude, since when does the Supreme Court justice have more unilateral single power than the president?
No, shouldn't. Of course not. But
crazy.
What type of system of government did I have then? We're talking about a straight democracy because
it's a normal type of just like
but I'm saying we're in a when people say, when it drives me crazy when Republicans say it too and Democrats say it, our democracy. Well, we're not a democracy. We're a republic, a representative republic, a constitutional republic where you can't have the tyranny of the majority just make rules and laws and this and that. Thank God. I don't know what's going on in Brazil. But this guy seems to even outweigh that. I mean,
he does. He does. And Jay, since we just got a few minutes left, I want to talk about a couple more things. Check this out. This is something I really like. Okay. ICE is reportedly equipping agents with gloves that can deliver electric shock if people are resisting the officers. I think that's awesome. Are you kidding me?
I love it. I got to laugh at this one because I saw this and I'm like, this is amazing.
It's great.
I know they were looking for like former cops to come back, and this might get me back.
With the gloves, I think you'd have to.
I want a pair of gloves, and my only condition would be that I can only use them when it's raining.
Yeah, and we got a live stream. If you go back, I will live stream every time you're there. We'll do Cops ICE episodes like Cops. But the gloves, Jay. The gloves are awesome. I mean, imagine someone's pushing your boundaries. Someone's trying to hit you. They're on top of you. All you got to do is grab their arm. And man, that is a great invention. Why hasn't this been invented before?
I don't know, but I love it. I saw
it.
That.
I'm like, it's wonderful.
This is great.
It is.
I got to get a pair.
Honestly, you got to get a pair for civilians too. It's just too cool to sit on the shelf.
I don't know if that's such a good idea. I don't know.
Well, somebody will end up doing it, and when they do, I'm buying a pair.
Yeah. Get them real quick before they get banned.
And they will. They absolutely will. Okay, Jay, this is going to hit a little close to home for you, but I love the way the NYPD handled this. Okay. So Mayor Zorhan Mamdami's office claimed that the NYPD would provide security detail for his wife during her trip to Syria and Lebanon. Both countries are on the State Department's do not travel list due to terrorism risks. The NYPD made it clear that they will not send officers to those places for personal travel. Mamdami has a long record of attacking the same police department, calling it wicked and corrupt and demanding it be defunded. But this is wonderful, Jay. They stood up and they said, no, we're not providing, security for personal travel detail for your wife. This is a local police department and not some international, security detail.
Yeah. What business is she doing? Where those countries are on the no travel list because they're terrorist havens.
And she wants to go as a Muslim. She's a Muslim.
What business does she have that she needs to go to? Why is she going there? That's my question. I don't know if anybody answered that yet. I get the whole NYPD thing is like the shiny object, and that's great that they told her to go screw
Lebanon, Jay. Those are the two biggest terrorist risks right now. You got Israel bombing Lebanon because of the terrorist risk in there. And then you've got Syria, who has always been at the center of terrorism. And now a Muslim wife, the wife of a Muslim, an Islamist, wants to go there for personal travel, not on official business, Jay. Why? Why would you? She's not vacationing in Syria or Lebanon.
That's exactly right. That's the question. Everybody's focused on the NYPD, which, like I said, that's great. I'm glad they told us, screw you. We're not sending anybody there because they're on the no travel list for the United States government because you go there, you get blown up. Yeah. Why are you going there?
Nuts. It's nuts. And nobody, Jay, nobody will investigate this reason. Nobody.
And here's another thing. During his campaign, people brought up a lot of the stuff his wife said, horrible stuff that she said over the years.
Oh, yeah.
And his answer was, well, she's a private person. Well, not anymore. She's not.
No.
First of all, not anymore. She's not. But okay, they let him get away with that one. That would never fly for anybody else, a Republican certainly. But they let it fly. But now all of a sudden, she's a private person who's going to Syria and Lebanon, but she wants the NYPD. No, private people don't get that. They don't even ask for that. And then why is she going to this country? What is she doing in this country other than no good?
Yeah. And Jay, she's going. Listen to this. I just found out why. I did a little investigation. I found out why. Guess what? She has family in Syria and Lebanon. Okay. Actual Jay, imagine the type of people that still live in Syria and Lebanon right now. Not refugees. I'm talking about the actual type of, and you're frozen again, Jay, just so you know, if you're trying to talk, we can't hear you. You're frozen. I'm guessing that the weather is too good right now in New York, and that's why you keep freezing. I don't know.
Yeah, go ahead. I heard the last thing I heard you say was, why imagine having people that still live in Syria and Lebanon. Go ahead.
Yeah. I mean, Jay, most of the people that still live in Syria and Lebanon haven't fled, aren't refugees. They're usually, interconnected with terrorism. Now she has family that lives in Syria and Lebanon. How convenient, Jay, that a Muslim that's the wife of the man who runs New York City happens to be a Muslim and have family in Syria and Lebanon. That's the perfect excuse to go to Syria and Lebanon.
I think maybe an investigation should be done into who her family is and maybe see if they have any ties. I'm not saying they do. Maybe they do. Maybe that should be investigated now. Well, I'm saying
you have to.
That should be investigated. What are you going there for? Does your family have ties to any terrorists? We'd like to know now because you're gonna come back. We think.
Yeah, maybe. But yeah, you're absolutely right, Jay. There's you have to investigate this, especially you need to do background checks on her family and you need to find out, your trip itinerary. Where are you going? Why are you going there? I mean, if you're using taxpayer funds, and Jay, this is a taxpayer funded trip, by the way. They are using taxpayer funds to go on this private trip. And if you are, that means your itinerary should be public. Everything 100%. You do should be public.
100%. If that's true, that is true, Jack, the taxpayers are paying for it for her flight.
Yep.
And her stay. If that's true,
I don't know about the accommodations, but definitely the flight. I don't know if she's staying with family or not.
That's it. If one penny of taxpayer money is being used for this trip, we have a right to know everything she's doing.
Absolutely. And what airline flies to those countries still from America? You would think it would have to be a private jet.
I don't know. Good question.
I don't know any airline that'll fly direct to Syria, Lebanon.
Maybe she's getting landing somewhere else and driving the rest. I don't know.
It's a very dangerous area. Anyways,
you think, yeah.
It's freaking crazy. Okay. Yeah. Guys, make sure you check out maxassociates.etsy.com. They are the #1 place for USA Pride gifts and patriotic apparel. You do not want to miss out on the deal. Right now, it's 10% off everything and free shipping anywhere in the United States. But since you're a viewer of Secret America, you get 20% off just by typing in the code SECRET20, SECRET20. And you have got to check out their new Remember 9/11 line. It's at the beginning of the shop, maxassociates.etsy.com. It is absolutely awesome. Also, there is Secret America gear that is available now at secretamericalive.com. I mean, we got the shirts, the hats, the mugs, anything you could possibly need. A vanilla candle. It is wonderful. All you have to do is go to secretamericalive.com or scan the QR code at the top right. Just go check it out. Something will tickle your fancy. I can promise you that because we have a bunch of awesome stuff. Okay, make sure you guys check out the new book. It is a lot. It is really good. By Design, the First Black President lets you experience the rise of America's first Black president as the events unfold. You get to experience them with him in a cinematic political thriller. From the moment the CIA gave their project the name to all the way to the swearing in at the White House through the lens of a political thriller where there's far more happening behind the scenes than anyone ever realized. It's a fast-paced, suspenseful, and filled with twists that blur the line between official narratives and conspiracy theories. Get it on Amazon.com or go to our website, secretamericalive.com, to get the audio book or to grab a signed copy with a personal message. Guys, make sure you follow us and subscribe. We want to know that we're making an impact. It really helps when you guys subscribe to X, YouTube, Rumble, Kick, and Instagram. It's all Secret America TV. Every single one of those is Secret America TV. X, YouTube, Rumble, Kick, Instagram. Make sure you guys follow us. We are live every single weekday. All right, Jay, I think we've solved all the problems we can for one day. So for Jay Gatling, I am Jack Danger. Thank you for watching Secret America.
You've been listening to Secret America.